All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Dids in the Dugout. This is going to be our Week 8 gambling episode. My main man, Chad Flowers, over here, has been on some kind of a heater the last
We're on a
couple of
heater.
weeks.
We're running hot.
He has dug himself out of the red back into the green after a real brutal start to the season. That's one thing me and him shared, and now he's just leaving me in the dust because every pick I give out on this show is shit, and that's just the way it is. And
Yeah.
I've accepted it. I'm going to give you, 5 or 6 more probably shit picks, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm betting on them myself. So if you're losing money, then I'm losing money too. So it's not that big of a deal. You know, it's frustrating because Chad knows that during the weekdays, I've
You're
been
hot.
doing pretty good, right? I think I'm 24-4 since last Tuesday during the week, something like that.
Yeah. What
And
did you go 4-0, 3-0 last night?
yeah. Well, actually, I went 5-0 on Tuesday night because I teased them together too and hit a two-unit
Oh,
teaser on all of it too. So, but yeah, it's been pretty frustrating, but that's okay. We're going to come on here every single week. I'm going to keep giving out picks. It's
mm-hmm.
got to
Mm-hmm.
turn around at some point. So, but before we get started into this, I have to thank our friends at Rhythm for my success with these
Yes.
weekday picks. That their model has really turned things around for me. Particularly in the group of five, that kind of seems to be my go-to. Maybe I just need to stay away from all these Power Five games on Saturday. I think that's what's getting me right. Maybe
Sunbelt, baby.
one's a
Go
little bit
Sunbelt and
better.
Mac.
Yeah, that's it. That's right. And Conference USA too. So, but yeah, they've been incredible. Their model has really helped me. I'm Believe it or not, as bad as I've been, I'm actually up money because of them, because of what I do during the week. So shout out to Rhythm. Thank y'all for all y'all do. An incredible app. Y'all hadn't checked them out. Just search for the Rhythm app. It's RATHMM and sign up and you get 14 days free to see how it works out for you. And if you start making some money at it like I am, then it pays for its own subscription. So go check them out. Incredible product. I'm having a lot of success with it. I know other people's had success with it as well. So go check them out. And all right, Chad. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into this thing. First of all, how's everything going out west?
Everything's good. But before we get started, I think it's fair to point out that Anthony has ducked us this week. And
Yeah, he has.
I
He's
understand
getting
that.
pretty scared. He's getting scared.
Look, when you have someone chasing up behind you, like I am right now, it becomes a lot harder to show up and do your job because you're worried about your security. And I get that. Look, I understand, Anthony, but understand that it'll all be over soon. Don't worry. I'm going to overtake you probably this week, maybe, right?
Oh, well, no, it's gonna happen this week probably, if I had to guess.
But well, law of averages says it probably won't, but we're gonna stay positive here.
Yeah.
And I think I think I got 6 more bangers this week. So yeah, I say we dive right into it, my man.
Yeah. See, Anthony's problem is he got off to this hot start. Me and you obviously
Hmm.
struggled.
Hmm.
As I
You're
said, I'm
still
still
struggling.
struggling.
Yep. Yep.
But you've come up behind him. But his problem is he's already ripped the rear view mirror off in his car.
That's true.
And now he's looking at his side mirror and seeing you coming up behind him. And he's trying to glue that sucker back up to the windshield. That way he can see
Yep.
how close you are. And I mean, he's just really struggling. Mind in a blender over there for Mr.
Really is.
Hitchcock.
And I don't blame him for ducking us now. When you talk about it like that, I understand why he's a
Well, it
chicken
just
shit.
makes sense.
It really does.
Yeah.
He's big braining us over there. Decided,
Well, he
if I
thinks
don't
he
show
is.
up, then it can't happen. So I get it. So all
Yeah.
right.
Well, it is happening because I made him send me his picks, so they're going to be on the record. And so once you go with another 4-1 in 1 week or 5-in 1 week,
Hmm.
something like that, and he does another mediocre 3-3. Now, look, I know I'm going 2-4 again. I mean, that's just as sure as the sun does rise. But that's
Mediocre for
okay.
me. Mediocre for
This
me,
isn't
not
about
mediocre
me.
for you.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. This isn't about me. My
It's
picks
not.
no longer matter. It's no longer a
Correct.
competition, or it's no longer a three-man competition. I'll say
Correct.
that it's a
Yes.
two-man competition. But you know me, man. I'm gonna keep my nose down. I'm gonna keep grinding, keep chipping away.
You can bring that
And
lunch pail. You can bring that lunch pail every week, and I appreciate that about you.
well, yeah, of course I do. I actually switched out hinges on it this week too, so maybe it'll open and close a little bit better for me. But we'll see how
Yeah,
it
maybe
works
take the
out. So
lock off so you can actually open it up next time.
good point.
Yeah. So I got to look at Anthony's picks, and I say one I'll throw out first is one that we're on the same side of. We're both on Alabama this week.
Okay.
I got the worst number, which is kind of the habit of me. I got 8.5 at 115. I think he got 8. Look, I'm going to keep it simple. Last week I went against Tennessee. I said, Joe Milton, I don't think he can do it. He didn't do it. Texas A&M just sucks. Okay. I think it was 11 for 22, threw for 100 yards,
Yep.
touchdown, and a pick. Alabama's defense is not quite as good as Texas A&M's. I'll give them that. But I think this is a revenge game for Nick Saban and company.
Yes.
This is in Tuscaloosa. And the Alabama offense is better, in my view, than Texas A&M's.
Mhm.
I think Alabama is going to win. I would say 10. Now I think we're on the opposite sides of a game. Is this the one where you're on the Vols?
This is absolutely the one we're on opposite sides of.
Okay.
You and Anthony took Alabama, so I'm going to skip right to the end of the show. This is my money line pick: Tennessee
okay.
plus 260. Both of my models, I have two rhythm models. Both of them suggest the Tennessee money line. I started digging into it a little bit. I'm not 100% sure that Tennessee is going to win this outright. Both of my models say that they won't win it outright, but because of the odds and the value you get, you bet the money line, right? And so that's what I'm going to do here. Dug into it a little bit. That Tennessee defense raises
good.
all kind of hell, man.
It's good.
It does. And Alabama, they have all kind of troubles up front offensively, which sends their offense into an absolute spiral. You saw it last week against Arkansas, right? They raised all kind of hell up front against them, and they were able to get them a little bit off balance, able to hang in there a little bit more. I think Tennessee has more athletes, both offensively and defensively. One thing that really stuck out to me, and I'm going to steal this from you, Chad, the havoc ratings on these two teams.
Yeah, they're good for Tennessee.
Tennessee's defensive havoc's 15, havoc allowed 20. Now, Alabama's defensive havoc is 33. It's good in its own right, but its havoc allowed is ranked 121.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kind of chaos in the backfield all the time for that Alabama offense. It's one of those games that, first of all, I think 8.5 is way too much because of that. But just jump back to Tuesday night real quick. It's the main reason I took Jacksonville State on the money line plus 6.5 was because of their havoc ratings. They created so much disruption in the backfield, and that ended up proving true as they held a high-powered Western Kentucky offense to only 17 points. Point is, if you can create havoc in the backfield, make quarterbacks rush to decisions, not be able to sit there and dissect everything, speed everything up on them. If you keep it close, then something like what happened with Jacksonville State, where you get a last-second field goal to win the game, is always an option. Again, I don't think Tennessee wins this game, but I do think 8.5 is too much. And because of all the hell they raise on defense, getting into the backfield, speed up Jalen Milroe a little bit. Now, the big thing there, they got to keep him in the pocket, right?
They have to. Yeah.
You can speed up his thought process when it comes to passing and reading and going through his progressions and everything. You let him get outside of the pocket, and he's hell on wheels. So keep him inside the pocket, get to him a little bit, speed everything up, and I think Tennessee has a shot to win this game. I don't think they will, but I think it's as good a shot as anybody going into Tuscaloosa.
It's definitely worth a shot in the dark, especially on your money line play, right? I mean,
yeah.
beat
And again,
Alabama
plus
last year.
on top of that, right?
Right.
So
And Alabama's a
value's there.
shell of what they've been the past few years. So, I mean, it's
but also back to your point, though, I do think this is a game that Nick Saban and that team has had circled since last year. The way they celebrated that win, you kind of saw it a little bit when Ole Miss beat them the first time.
Right.
We jumped out to that huge lead, right, in Tuscaloosa, and I know we won that game, but they came roaring back a little bit on us to where there was that little thought in the back of our mind, if they have a couple more possessions, they can get in this thing. And then the next year we jump out to that big lead, and then they come back and just smoke us after halftime. Nick Saban's not going to lose to a whole lot of teams back-to-back years. So this is definitely one that he's going to have circled, and I think we're going to get the best after.
And when you think about the games that Nick Saban has lost at Alabama, usually what happens is a quarterback plays out of their mind. I don't think Tennessee's can do that because Joe Milton is not, in my opinion, very good. I see a lot of turnovers. He's not. And so I don't see him being able to take care of the ball enough. But once again, I mean, that's why they play it. But that was my that's my main reason. That's why I took him last week. That's why I took A&M last week.
Yeah, and counterpoint to that the teams that beat Nick Saban have a quarterback that plays out of their mind. a counterpoint to that would be, look what Joe Milton can do down the field if you give him an opportunity and his
Sure.
receivers get open. I mean, he
Sure.
can throw it over 70 yards, and that's how
Yep.
you beat Alabama. Like you said, you attack them downfield. So maybe they're
Yep.
able to open that up. Maybe some receivers are finally able to get a little bit of separation. Now, all that's going to come back to them establishing a run game, making somebody come up into the box and defend the run right there, right?
Yep.
To open up the back part of that field, to open up that big arm for Joe Milton. Now, whether or not he can hit them downfield is a whole nother story, but he can damn sure throw it 70 yards. So
He can.
at least it's an option, whether it
Yes.
works out or not.
Yep. You got to keep it honest. So,
Yeah.
Um,
So, all right. So we've all hit one right there. So right back to you, Chad.
all right. To the MAC. I like an under. My one total of the week. I like Western Michigan and Ohio under 53. It's supposed to rain in Athens this weekend. Athens, Ohio, that is, of course. Ohio's one of the better defenses in the country, let alone the MAC. They, if you remember a few weeks ago, I think they held Iowa State, who's played better lately. They held them to, maybe single digits. I can't remember the exact number, but it wasn't a lot of points. They're best in the country in PPA on rushing plays and 34th against the pass. Now, on offense, they're not anything special. 101 in PPA overall. I just see it being a slow game, 52, 53-ish, under the total of 52, 53. So I got him at 53 minus 110. Give me the under.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to take your word for it on that. I didn't look a lot into Western Michigan and Ohio there, but definitely sounds like you got enough.
It's not the sexiest game. I'll be honest with you. I got a few. I got a few clunkers this week for sure.
Okay, so they're coming then, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah. There's some bad games I'm on.
All right, I'm going to jump to another one of Anthony's picks right here and get this out of the way because me and him are on the same side of it. That way I can talk about it at the same time. Now we have different numbers, so I'm going to let y'all know what my models say about these numbers as well. But Hitch has UCF and Oklahoma over 66.5 is one of his picks. I'm on the over at 64.5. I bet it a day before than he did. Apparently, is the only thing I can figure out. I did look it up. It is currently 66.5 as we sit here, at 5:45 on Wednesday evening or whatever it is. Now my models, I was looking at it once I saw the number that he had. Mine have it ending anywhere from 68 to 69 points. So it's still a play at the number that he has. I imagine it's still going to go up. Look, this is a game where John Rice Plumlee's back for Central Florida. Now, it's a leg injury, and we know how much his legs dictate how he plays in games. He's absolutely dynamic when he's healthy on his legs. He can make anybody miss. He can make huge plays for that offense. But Central Florida is 106th in defensive havoc. This is one thing that you're going to get used to hearing this week, Chad, since you've been on such a heater. I've started looking up havoc
There you
to
go.
go along with my rhythm models to try to find me some winners here to get the car headed in the right direction. So I'm really leaning on that this week. But UCF 106th in defensive havoc, and Oklahoma, we all know, can score with anybody, right? I mean, they're completely dynamic. Dylan Gabriel has been incredible this year. A little bit of a down year last year, went through some injuries, but you kind of had the feeling the Dylan Gabriel Jeff Levy marriage would end up resulting into a big offense at some point once he got there. So we're getting on the over here. Possible look ahead here for Oklahoma though, which is why I think that Central Florida might be able to get a couple scores here to get this over to the number it needs to be. Oklahoma plays at Kansas and at Oklahoma State the next 2 weeks. So maybe if they build a big lead, JRP out there for Central Florida, if they can get to, 14, 17 points, I don't think there's any problem this under or this over getting to the number it needs to be. And like I said, mine's 64.5, Hitches is 66.5. I like it all the way up to, I'd probably play it all the way up to 67.5 is probably where my cutoff would be on it.
Yeah, I mean, I was on a UCF over against Kansas a few weeks ago. I mean, that their introduction to the Big 12 has been, hey, defense is optional, basically. Oh, holy shit! We've got
look who we have here. I was wondering how the hell you were sending little messages in down there. I didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, man, I'm here. I'm ready.
Yeah, we've got through the Alabama-Tennessee game, and we're just on our second one. doing.
What are
y'all
y'all?
do-
Are y'all both on it?
No, me
both-
and you were on it. Central Florida and Oklahoma.
No,
and you
Alabama,
and I are on
Tennessee.
Alabama. You and I are on Alabama. Dids is on Tennessee.
Yeah,
Money line.
I think Milroe likes to throw it deep, and I think Tennessee really struggles with covering that. Just last week, they gave up 4 plays of plus 25 yards in the air, and they hadn't won in Tuscaloosa since 2003. And so I wanted to say this about Tennessee, Alabama. Something you said last week just keeps echoing.
You
in
know,
my
if you wanted to
brain.
say it, you could have been here on time when we covered the
Good
game.
100%. I don't even got to talk
Valid
about
point.
the other game. I ain't got to talk about any other game. I've been here for 10 minutes. Anyway, something you said last week kept ringing in my mind, and it was Joe Milton isn't the guy to beat whatever. And so when I was looking at that and I saw that they hadn't won in Tuscaloosa since 2003, I thought, and Joe Milton isn't the guy to get it done this year either. So I think they probably win going away.
Yep, that's
All right,
that's the
I'm done.
plan. All right. We
All right,
next.
so,
You good on the UCF game?
Yeah, I did say it. I mean, JRP's back. I did want to say JRP's back, and God wants him to have a good game. So
No, there you
it'll
go.
be.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
It's in the
Side
cards
with
then.
God.
All right.
All right,
Let's I'll take my next one. Let's go ACC. Georgia Tech -4.5, -113. They're playing Boston College this weekend in Atlanta. Look, Georgia Tech tops in the nation in offensive explosiveness, facing a Boston College defense, 125th in havoc and explosiveness allowed on defense. What do the Yellow Jackets like to do on offense? They like to throw the ball. 10th in the country in explosiveness on passing plays, 22nd in the nation in PPA when they go through the air. I'll take the home team, lay the points. If your last memory of Georgia Tech is that gift of a win against Miami. Both teams coming off a bye, so health should not be a huge issue. I still like Georgia Tech. I think they have more talent than Boston College. They should be able to win by a touchdown or more.
Yeah, I actually looked into this. So I like Georgia Tech in this spot as well.
Me too.
Winners,
All right,
winners,
Andrew.
winners.
What you got, bud?
I've got. You know what I've got? The Iowa,
Okay.
whoever they're
I
playing.
didn't know
over.
if you were going with it here
Yeah.
or not. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't even. We're trying to get out of here without spending too much time. I ain't got nothing to say about it. It's 33 points. 33 points every time. All right, that's it.
This is your Lucy holding the football for Charlie Brown, right? The Iowa overs.
It's not just Iowa overs, right? Like it's the number, but
That's true.
Iowa tends to be the other team in this a lot of times. So
Yeah.
I can't help it. I don't know what it.
Yeah.
I see it and I got to do
I
it.
saw it and I sent it your message on Monday. I think it was when the line came out. It's like, all right, Hitch, good news. You only have to find 4 more plays. The Iowa total is 32.5. So
I didn't even have to look at it.
over.
I didn't even. I don't even know who they're playing. I can't remember.
Okay.
Minnesota.
Well, lucky for you, my next pick is Iowa -3.5. So I do know who.
All right.
who they're
Well, go
playing.
ahead.
They're
It's
playing
your turn.
Minnesota. Okay.
That's
So
right. Okay,
I
go
am
ahead.
staying away from the total because I decided to tail hitch on the, what was it, 34.5 last weekend? Was that what it was?
It's dropped. It's 32 now.
No, I'm talking about last weekend.
Oh yeah.
When
yeah.
you didn't hit
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Didn't come anywhere close. All right. So I'm staying away from totals. But Iowa -3.5 at home against Minnesota. Minnesota's 0-2 in road games so far this year. They've lost 31-13 at North Carolina. And the real bad one, 37-34 at Northwestern. Those are the kind of games you can't lose. They really struggle on the road. If Iowa scores 4 points, they cover this game. Okay. They're not going to score on Iowa. Give me Iowa -3.5.
The Floyd of Rosedale Trophy. That's what they're playing for.
I'll take your word for it.
It's a pig. It's got a big pig on it.
Okay. Well,
I'm the pig expert, as we all know.
Well, then
my
Iowa
God.
is going to be like Chad this week, and they're taking home the pig.
That's right. Fair. Okay. All right. Here we go. Ugly game.
Okay.
Rutgers
Oh, no.
-5. Indiana. Now it's on the road. They're going to Indiana, but Indiana may be the worst Power 5 team in the country.
They're bad.
125th in PPA on offense, 105 on defense. Tom Allen has not named a starter at QB this week. Okay. They had 288 total yards against Akron. They beat them in double overtime. Defense travels. That's the saying, right?
Yeah.
That's what Rutgers does.
And
Schiano,
somehow Schiano figures out how to win.
Yes.
Somehow.
He's a really good coach, right?
Yeah, he really is. And they're going to
really
get bowl
is.
eligible this weekend, right? They don't play a pretty brand of football, but they're the best team in the country in limiting explosive plays on defense. They've allowed 400 total yards to an opposing offense one time. That was against Michigan, who they were only down 14-7 at halftime in the Big House. Okay. Yeah. Indiana's defense allows over 4.5 yards per attempt, and that's Rutgers' bread and butter. They're going to run the ball down your throat. They're going to play hard-nosed defense. I'm not crazy about it being in Bloomington, but you can't bet on Indiana here. Give me Rutgers -5. I got them at 115.
Yeah, this is absolutely the right side. I've kind of looked at it myself, not so much to bet, but I like Tom Allen. I loved him when he was in Oxford. Guys.
He'll be a good DC next year.
Somewhere. Yeah, that's it. Like he's really coaching for his job right now. They had that really good year during the COVID year in 2020, and things really falling off. But I 100% agree with everything you said. As long as you're going to let Greg Schiano line up and run the ball, he's going to do that over and over and over again on you until you stop him. And then he is just going to make your life miserable on the defensive side because he's going to sit there and fight and beat the hell out of you in 4 quarters.
Rutgers should have been what my 5th game was. Like that's what I was going to go with probably. But Miami +3.
Ooh.
They
got new coaches yet?
I know that they've lost 2 games in a row.
You don't want them to have a lead.
I know that the Georgia Tech thing was a debacle, right? But
okay, I'm going to stop you real quick there. That's not even fair enough to say that it's a debacle.
Okay,
it is the most egregious coaching decision I've ever seen in my
malpractice. I believe the word you're looking for.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I don't. Why are you? Okay, it doesn't matter. But
it does matter. He's the coach.
I get it, but do you think something like that will ever happen again? And has it ever happened with him before? Right, like he made a mistake. Right, if somebody in the mattress factory makes a mistake, right? Yeah. Do they immediately get fired and get shunned?
The nest and wild.
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact.
Yeah. All right, well,
no, but somebody went back and actually looked at this. Somebody went back and actually looked at this. He never takes a knee. Even back at Oregon, when he had leads, he doesn't take a knee to end games. He keeps handing the damn ball off for no reason.
I don't have a problem with that, to be honest with you. Like, that's what I would want to do if I were a coach, too. Like, taking knees is boring, and it doesn't hit overs. Anyway.
Well, fumbling up one score is not going to win
Miami
game,
+3.
Well, it might hit the over when the other team scores.
Okay, well, all right. So here, look, somebody else look this up. How many times has not taking a knee burnt him and him not doing it, right? If that's the only time, twice, and how long has he been a coach, right? That's pretty good odds. So
no, that's 2 times 2 damn minis, what that is.
All right, yeah, I get it. But
all right, so why do you like Miami against North Carolina?
So
I mean, against
if Miami is back, right? They're claiming that they're back, right? Then there's no way that Clemson comes into the Miami house and wins. So I like Miami to not only cover but win the game outright +3.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Now for the record,
and I watched them play against Texas A&M, and Miami is really good. Like it was a bonehead.
Yes.
It was a bonehead play.
They're a better team than Clemson. There's no reason they should be underdogs in this game. But I can tell you the reason they are, and that's because Mario Cristobal is the head coach.
That is the head coach on the other side too, but whole other topic.
All right, hey Hitch, before we get off of this Miami thing, you want to do one more?
Yeah, my last one or the plus money one?
No, the plus money one.
All right, so Miami. Yeah, I've got Arkansas -6 against Mississippi State.
No, he was just saying. You said Miami is going to be your plus money play for the week as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Just go ahead and get that out of the way. Since we're talking about.
Miami. Yeah. That one
right now.
That's cool.
So that'll be
plus money play. Miami plus 125.
125. Yeah, that's what we
Okay.
got. Okay. So for my next pick, this is actually going to be a Thursday night game. Switching it up a little bit, right? I'm
Okay.
going with the Havoc ratings. I'm going to go for some Thursday night games. We're going
James
to stay
Madison.
boring and do all 11 to 2:30 Saturday games because that hasn't worked out for me so far. So switching it up a little bit, we are going to go James Madison at Marshall Thursday night and give me the James Madison Dukes big. I've got them at -3.5 right here. They are number 1 in the country in defensive havoc. Marshall 102nd in havoc allowed. And James Madison is allowing 1.5 yards per rush for the year.
They're good, man.
They are so good. And they just, you said it last week, Chad, they beat the hell out of you every single game. They're
Georgia
so
Southern
physical.
is a good football team,
They're a
and
really
they
good football team.
dominated them last week.
They just dominated them. I think this is the best group of 5 team in the entire country, which really sucks because they're not bowl eligible this
No,
year.
they're
Since it's
not.
the first year in Division One. I mean, they've got Access Bowl written all over them, and they're going
That's
to
a
be
stupid rule.
sitting at the house unless somebody is not able to make it to a bowl game from an eligibility standpoint, and then they can get in after that. That's the only way they make it. So they're not going to make an Access Bowl, but I think it's absolutely the best group of 5 team in the country. Marshall, they've played well for most of the part this year, and but I think they're running into a buzzsaw here. I don't care that it's at Marshall. James Madison's already forced 11 turnovers so far. I think they're just going to beat the hell out of them for 4 quarters, and 3.5 isn't anywhere close to enough for this one. So give me the Dukes -3.5.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet against the Dukes. Yeah, I like that.
No chance.
Quick side pick. I got a Thursday night game as well. I'm on Tulsa -3. Not one of my 5, but I am on Tulsa tomorrow night -3. So just throw that out there. Okay, I think we're on our last pick or before our plus money?
I still have 2 more somehow, but yeah.
Cool.
Oh, because I've already given my plus money. That's all I have.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So my last of my 5, Death Valley, here we come.
Yes.
LSU Tigers -30.5, -108. It's a big number, and LSU's defense has been historically bad for LSU standards. But we know they're going to score. They're going to score a lot. Does Army have the offense to be able to keep up with that? They absolutely do not. Their QB's banged up. It's going to be a night game in Death Valley. Bunch of points, but I think Brian Kelly makes a statement going into their bye week before Bama. I think that they win going away.
Yeah, I looked into this as well. If I had to make a pick, I would actually be on the opposite side. I would take Army +30.5 here because it is such a big number.
It's at 31.5 now. It's gone up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably going to be something that I'm on personally come Saturday if it keeps going.
I would not take 31. I like the under 31 because it opened at 25.
Yeah,
This game opened at 25.
It's such a big number. We know LSU struggled defensively, especially big plays downfield, which doesn't hurt them in this game, right?
But they played well against Auburn last week. They played really well against Auburn.
They did. But Army's not going to be able to attack them where it hurts downfield, right? So that's one big thing. Now they do throw it more than they have in the past. I think LSU's going to be a little sleepy for this game, though. Like you said, bye week coming up, huge game against Alabama in 2 weeks. Yeah. That's the game following this one. You can't convince me that they haven't already started game planning for that and working that in a little bit. Just a huge number here, and that's why I think I would take Army. I think they will be able to gash them enough to get 1, maybe 2 touchdowns here. And if LSU starts sleepwalking, then that's going to be enough to be able to cover this 3.5. So I just think it's a huge number.
If they start sleepwalking, it's going to be – they might not win the game.
That's fair point. Hopefully, don't fall asleep. That's
hard to play sleepwalking,
right?
Yeah, that's actually the problem. If they're sleepwalking, the first problem is they fell asleep at the game.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
It's bad. My turn again now.
You said Arkansas was your last one?
Yeah, Arkansas -6. Just a couple of quick things. In their last 4 games at LSU, they lost by 3. Texas A&M lost by 12. We'll slide that one out because I think there's some plays in that one that Arkansas very easily could have won that game.
Yep.
At Ole Miss, lost by 7. At Alabama, lost by 3. Yeah. They are – I'm not saying they're a good team, I'm not saying they're a good team. They're great. I'm saying they're so close to winning a football game. And I think that them getting Mississippi State, who is down a little bit, Will Rogers is hurt. I don't know if he's playing, but I know that he's banged up. They also have a running back that's banged up.
Not playing.
And so if coming off of these 4 tough losses, you're coming back home, you're getting Mississippi State, who's beat up. I think that this is the game where this is a get right game for Arkansas. If they can take advantage of it. It's under a touchdown, and this is only State's second road game. I didn't realize that. This is only second road game, and since 2000, there have been 16 games in this series decided by more than 7 points. I think Arkansas is. So I'm going on the trend here of it going more than 7, which is a key number, and then Arkansas being the better team. So actually two units on this one, Diz, because this is my favorite one. I like this one.
Yeah, I couldn't play State under a touchdown. The only way I could play them would have to be over 7.
So just to confirm, you sent me earlier 3 units on this one. You're only doing 2?
Oh, I sent 3. I meant 3. Because I love this one. I love this one.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you said, especially with it being under a touchdown. Look, nobody has played a tougher 4-game stretch than Arkansas in the entire country, I don't think. At LSU, A&M in Dallas, at Ole Miss, at Alabama, and you lose all of those games by combined, 13 points or whatever it is. They were in every single game. They could have won any of those games. Really wish they had won last week. That really would have helped the Rebels out. But they're not quitting on Sam Pittman. Say what you want to about this team, how they performed. I know that BYU game was an absolute debacle. It's one you can't lose, especially at home. But Sam Pittman still has these guys playing. They're still playing for him. And that counts this late in the season with the team that really is actually going nowhere. They're still playing for him. They're playing hard. And they're playing really close games. I'm not sure you can say the same about Mississippi State on the other sideline when Saturday rolls around, the way their season's been going. If they end up quitting on Arnett, then Sam Pittman's going to put up 150 points and put some mashed potatoes in his belly button and head home, just have him the greatest damn time of his life.
Yeah. All right. I can't see any fault in any of that. Yeah, I don't. I can't back Mississippi State at any number that's not double digits, probably with any game left on their schedule.
Double digits and crooked.
Yeah. It's a bad team, man.
It is.
All right.
All right. So I've actually got 2 plays left here. That completes Hitch. Chad still has a plus money play. I'm going to go ahead and do both of mine because they're both in the same game. So, so we are going to travel up to Columbus, Ohio this weekend. Big game. Game of the
Buckeyes.
week. Penn State at Ohio State. Love this game. It's going to be so much fun to watch. These 2 teams are so good defensively. Like if you're wanting to tune in to watch the fireworks go off and all these points get scored, this isn't for you. These 2 teams get after your ass. I expect it to be a lot like the Ohio State Notre Dame game, the 17-14 area, something like that, because of the way these 2 defenses play. And Penn State defensive havoc ranked 3rd, and they're second in havoc allowed. So they're at the top on each end of the spectrum here. Ohio State's really good too. 38th in defensive havoc, 14th in havoc allowed. You know, they get after you and don't allow a lot to get in the backfield when they're on offense either. But I think Penn State's going to be able to get after them enough. I love it because of the hook. If you're going to give me 3.5, because I think this is a last-second field goal at the end of the game, one way or another. Wouldn't be surprised if either team won this. They're both allowing less than 10 points a game so far this year. Again, this is going to be so much fun to watch. It's going to be a physical battle. Defenses are going to just take over this entire game. So give me Penn State plus 3.5 and the under at 46.5 as my last 2 plays here. Again, wouldn't be surprised if Penn State wins it. Wouldn't be surprised if Ohio State wins it. I would only be surprised if either team wins it by more than 3 points, and this goes over 40 points total, something like that. So I love the under here, love Penn State, and I can't wait to watch this game Saturday night.
It's at 4.5 now. I'll be on Ohio State in some capacity, only because I like what you said about Penn State, but their strength of schedule is awful. They haven't played anybody.
Yeah, no, they haven't.
That's my only knock against Penn State is they've played some ugly games against much lesser competition, and I think Ohio State's a little bit more battle tested. But you're right, that hook is really important. That's why it wasn't one of my 5. I wanted to be on Ohio State, but I did not like the 3.5, and now obviously it's at 4.5. So I'll be on it just because it's a big game. But
yeah,
I understand your reasoning, especially with that hook. Yep. Yeah.
Anything from you, Hitch?
I didn't even look at it because I knew that I'd be on the over.
Oh, okay. Easy enough.
Yeah.
I got no
my plus money play. That's the only one left.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it.
This one's easy. It's not sexy. It's plus 105. It's the Pitt money line against Wake Forest.
Okay.
Wake Forest is not good. They lost to Virginia Tech. I think they had a lot of flu issues last week. A lot of players didn't play. Narduzzi
blew the coop.
Yeah. Narduzzi is he's got him playing pretty well. I think that they're only a 1.5 point dog, so it's expected to be a close game anyway.
Yeah.
Give me Pitt plus 105 money line. I'll take the plus money there, and I think the Panthers can rattle off a win in Winston-Salem.
Yeah. Really, the only thing you worry about there, I think they're clearly the better team. You just worry about a letdown after such a big win against Louisville.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I looked at that. That was one of the angles I looked at. I looked at last year how Pitt did after winning games against ranked teams.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have any upset losses or anything like that I could tell. So that was the angle that I looked at to go against that, to say, no, I'm not going to make it. But I was okay with what I saw. That's why I ended up going with Pitt.
Okay, very good. All right, well, that wraps up all of our picks. Or is there anything y'all were looking at that didn't end up making y'all sheet? For me, I like Missouri -7 this week against South Carolina. Missouri
like
at
under.
home. You like the under in that one? Okay. I just like Missouri at home against the South Carolina team that's really struggling, and Missouri's really clicking.
I like Missouri too. It's more than a touchdown too, right?
It's 7 right now. I like South Carolina until I saw that their starting left tackle's out.
Yeah, so that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, because their offensive line's bad as it is.
Yeah, and can we take a second? How good is Luther Burden? I mean, he is so much fun to watch, man. And that offensive coordinator's got the easiest job in the entire country. It's just drop back and get it to Luther Burden any way you possibly can.
Yeah.
I really,
another game that I looked at that I wanted to get on, Texas Tech. They're at BYU. It opened at 2. It's at 4.5 now. There's a lot of QB questions injury-wise with Texas Tech. That was one of the reasons I didn't get on that game. I do like Washington -26.5 against Arizona State. Even though they're coming off a big win against Oregon, I still think that their offense is high-powered enough. I wanted to get on Washington State against Oregon at +20.
I looked at that one so hard.
I wanted to get on Washington
State is not that bad. Like,
No.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened last week, but
they can't run the
not
ball.
bad.
They can't run the ball.
true.
That is their biggest issue. They cannot run the ball at all.
Bugaboo.
And Oregon is going to be able to probably stop that. That was one of the reasons I didn't. Well, I guess we should talk about this real quick. Look, Ole Miss opened up at what? +7? How much would they open up against Auburn? 7? It's
7.5,
now.
I think. I saw 7.5 at one point.
There's no way.
No
I guess
chance
we're all
I'm
in the same boat.
Nah.
I
You've
can't
got
do
to
it.
get this sucker underneath the field goal for me to take the Rebels.
Yeah. 3
Or
would be
for
the
me to even think about taking the Rebels.
Pick 'em. You better get me in plus money to take the Rebels going there.
Yeah.
I mean, screw that.
I've seen this too many times. I know y'all have too. Us going to Auburn in an underwhelming situation.
What was the stat that I sent out in one of our group chats about when's the last time we won back-to-back games against Auburn?
71 years.
Yeah.
71 years. And in case anybody's wondering, we beat Auburn last year. So
yeah,
you're talking about breaking a 71-year trend. Now look, this is the kind of game Ole Miss has to win. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're the better team, better players, more talent, better coach. I don't care if you're going on the road. I don't care what history says and how much you've struggled. playing in that stadium. You have to win this game. And quite frankly, you need to win it running away, right? I mean, you don't need to leave any doubt. This isn't a look-ahead spot. Hell, we got Vanderbilt next weekend, right? So, I mean, this isn't somebody we're looking ahead to. I know we got A&M in 2 weeks, Georgia in 3 weeks, whatever it is. But you've got to go in. You got to dominate this game and not give who any kind of momentum on the other sideline.
Sorry.
Completely agree.
Hey, one other thing. I want to change my plus money play. I don't know how I missed this.
Okay.
Auburn money line.
Utah. I want Utah. I love Utah at +7, and I want Utah at +225 money line.
All right. So why don't you just parlay them in Miami since you're so confident?
That's a good point.
All right, that's what I want to do. I don't know I don't know what the odds are, but that's what I was going to do. But I figured it would be too difficult. So thanks for suggesting.
I'll figure that out. Don't worry about that.
Utah. So Utah going to
Miami.
Miami
with that defense. Let's see how good Caleb Williams is, like against that Utah defense, right? Like last week was a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Yeah. USC might come out and blow them out. I don't know, but let's have fun.
Right, so I got the Miami money line parlayed with the Utah money line. By my calculations, that comes out to a -575 parlay for you. So congratulations, Itch.
All right, yeah.
That can't be right, but
I don't think that's right, but you know what? I trust you, Dids. Let's go with it. Yep.
I'm the math guy.
Anything to get back in it. I hear you. You're the math guy.
Yeah. Well, look, Hitch, you were the one ducking us to begin this thing. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
And I said, I get it, dude. I get when you've got someone hot on your tail like that. I understood more than Dids did. I'll just put it that way. I understood. I was not angry.
Yeah.
Well, look,
I could see the fear on your face too when I said there was something you said last week that stuck with me, and I wanted to assure you it wasn't that what you said about like race or religion or any of that. So like it was what you said about Joe Milton being the quarterback for Tennessee.
Well, look, I stand by everything that I said. If that upsets anybody, then y'all know where to find me.
I love you guys. I look forward to this every week, and I was so disappointed that I was going to miss this week. I'm so glad I got on here for the last of it.
We're not, but anyway,
I know that you're not. Anyway. I'm trying to be genuine, and you're not. All right.
Well, happy you could end up going to the Sear Hitch. We'll track this again, see what happens, and everybody tune in next week and see what we got for week 9, and hopefully we just gave y'all a shit ton of winners. So,
thanks to Rhythm again.
No Rebs.
Yes.
Yep. Thanks again to Rhythm. As a matter of fact, I will update the weekday numbers again next week and see if this is kind of a trend with my model, a hot weekday or not. So I'll update that again. 24-4. Is that what I said earlier, Jed, I think?
Yep. And you'll know we're trending well for the weekend. We're both Dids and I are on New Mexico State tonight. So by the time you hear this, you'll know if New Mexico State covered that 3. I think Dids got him at 3.5. So that's how you'll know.
I got 3.5 even money. As a matter of fact, I ended up getting on both overs as well. So give me all the points in these games.
Well, tonight, hell, I'll get on them too.
You might as well, Hitch. All right, guys. I appreciate it. We'll talk to y'all next week.
Love you guys. Bye.
All right. Bye. See ya.